NXT took place tonight in Atlanta, Georgia at Center Stage Theater, which is a venue that's hosted numerous wrestling events in the past. You started the show out with the match I was looking most forward to, that I think's been built up the best, which is Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade going up against Bayley and the NXT Women's Champion, the beautiful madness, Julia. So Julia is out first, followed by Bayley with her new shitty music. I was really disappointed. I really wanted to hear Turn It Up one more time. I want to see Bayley put the pigtails on with the Bayley buddies being blown up. And we're going to finally get to see the nostalgic run. Bayley is back in NXT. This is her first match in NXT since 2020, but during that time, there was no fans there. This is the first time she's in front of an NXT live event audience having a match. I think if we got to see Turn It Up, we got to hear it, I think the crowd would have loved it. We never got to see it. She wants to do her stupid, shitty gimmick. I don't like this Bayley at all. Her with the shaved head and the music that just doesn't fit her, the whole role model gimmick. We want to see the hugger. That's the Bayley we all know and love. And we start off, then Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade make their entrance together. So the match started with Julia and Roxanne Perez having a bit of a rematch from their match 3 weeks ago when Julia defeated Roxanne to win the NXT Women's Championship in Los Angeles. So we get Bayley in with Cora. They're kind of saving Bayley and Roxanne because we know we're going to get that eventually as a singles match. They keep teasing it, but we didn't get it too much here, and I kind of like that because it keeps up the anticipation and the curiosity of how the match will go. So we have is Bayley and Julia on the outside. Roxanne hits a suicide dive, and then Cora hits a senton from the top to the outside. That's when they go to the break. But people who are watching internationally on NXT, like myself, we saw the match go on. You had Roxanne Perez mock the hugger Bayley, which I love when she waves her hands in the air when she's about to run into the turnbuckle against her opponent. That was pretty cool. Eventually, Bayley takes Roxanne Perez out to the on the floor, and she sends her into the ring steps, and that takes out Roxanne in the match. Back in the ring, Julia hits her finisher to Cora Jade, then she hits the tag to Bayley. Bayley then drops her elbow from the top rope, her signature finisher, and she pins Cora Jade. And that pinfall would come into play later in the show. So it's a significant event, has the potential to be. We go to some Eddie Thorpe promo that I just don't care about. The guy's done. He lost to Obafemi. He's done. I don't think he's going to ever win the NXT title. Next, we get the Grayson Waller effect with Obafemi and the heel Grayson Waller and the babyface in Atlanta, Georgia, Austin Theory. Fans are chanting, "Turn on Grayson" to Austin. They really like him, and I guess I just not a fan. I've always thought Vince just completely overpushed him. Never really saw the appeal in him other than, they see him as a good-looking guy who can appeal to fans, but I just never was entertained by him, by his character. But here he was super over, and I can kind of see he might work as a babyface. One of the funniest parts is when they chant "Turn on Grayson" is Austin Theory basically turns his back to Grayson Waller, and they create this moment where they just completely troll the audience because they want him to turn, and they say turn, that's like an insider term. Well, he just turns his back. It kind of reminds me of when fans wanted John Cena to turn heel on Monday Night Raw in 2013 after WrestleMania, and Cena says, well, how about a heel turn as a new pose, and he basically just turns his heel, and the fans all cheered. That was actually really funny. But they insult Obafemi, so he challenges one of them to a match at Vengeance Day, and we see Trick Williams in the back watching this on a monitor. He's getting pissed off for some reason. They're not really mentioning him. I guess he's upset he wants his rematch, but Ava comes on, tells them to calm down. Trick storms the ring. He takes out A-Town Down Under. Then Obafemi hits his finisher to Trick Williams and takes him out. Now we go to a commercial, and I have to say, the center stage venue, the theater, it felt really intimate. And you don't get to see that too much. NXT does feel more intimate than Raw and SmackDown. To me, Raw especially just feels so overproduced now. It's not like when I was watching last night. It's like, man, it doesn't even feel like a wrestling show. It's just like something you'd see in the Vegas Sphere or something. But here, I felt really intimate. I like the setting a lot. I like if they just keep doing these theaters. I think the next city they're doing is Cincinnati. I'm not sure when that is. Next, we had Sarah Screever backstage interviewing Izzy Dame about when she punched Tony D'Angelo. And, sorry, it wasn't backstage. It was actually in front of the audience. She says it's about Sean Spears. Then Rich Holland came. He confronts her what happened last week when she punched him. And then you have Stax from the family standing up to Ridge. So I guess that sets up a match soon. Trick Williams is still in the ring. He's recovering. Wesley makes his entrance. Trick's ribs are injured from the powerbomb. So we have a cool spot where Wes hits his double knees from the apron onto Trick, onto the announce table. And it was actually better that it didn't break. I don't think they even expected it to break. It worked because he bounced onto the announce table and you can like feel the knees going in again. It actually made it look really painful. In some ways, it kind of was similar to the bump, that horrific bump that happened last night with JD McDonough. It kind of reminded me of that. But one thing I didn't like, Trick's ribs just magically heal. It's like he's not even selling them anymore. He's just 100% again, and he just keeps going at him. The other two guys, the henchmen that are with Wesley, try to get involved. Trick kicks both their asses. Eventually stomping on him, he throws down the referee, just like Jacob Fatu did on Saturday night's main event, gets disqualified. He continues to beat down the henchman. He's pissed off. Trick Williams has gone nuts. Backstage, Ava Rain is confronted by Obafemi. He wants to know who his opponent is at Vengeance Day, and she tells him it's a triple threat match with Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, and he is not happy. Next, we have Shotzi heading to the ring with her girls, Gigi Dolan and Tatum Paxley. Then we see Fallon headed to the ring, part of something called Toxic Attraction, Fatal Influence, the most boring tag team, or boring trio. That team sucks. I like Fallon, not a big fan of the other two, but JC and Jasmine were with her. We have, when we come back from the break, Ava Rain storms into the men's locker room, which was funny, and she's yelling at Trick, who's sitting down. He's mad he's not getting the shot, but she then reveals that he's going to be in a tag team with Obafemi. He has to team with him against A-Town Down Under next week. Next, we get to the NXT North American Women's Championship. Fallon Henley defends her title against Shotzi. So, both factions are fighting with each other to start. And they both cancel each other out because they both go to the back. So no Fatal Influence, no Shotzi's friends, whatever they're called. The winner was never in doubt here. Fallon Henley the story was she was working on Shotzi's surgically repaired knee, and then she just finished her off with her finish. It was decisive. Everyone knows Fallon's winning. I don't know what Shotzi's going to do. I think she should probably worry about getting released. I hate to say that about someone. I don't see much for Shotzi right now. Then we have Stephanie Becker. Her music hits, and she confronts Fallon Henley on the ramp. Stephanie definitely felt like the much bigger star here. She's going to beat Fallon at Vengeance Day, no doubt. And she'll be the NXT North American Women's Champion. And you're also going to have Julia as the NXT Women's Champion. That's how you really set things up here. Really two strongest female wrestlers as champions. And Roxanne's obviously there as well, but she's going to go to the main roster very soon. I think with Roxanne just makes more sense to wait after WrestleMania. February, there's no point of debuting anyone in February. When we're into March, it's main season. Just debut her the night after WrestleMania. But Becker and Henley, I really like that visual. Becker definitely felt like a big star. So we see Kalani Jordan backstage. She's putting on lipstick. And for what? I mean, she's not going to be on the show. She's just backstage putting on her lipstick. Anyway. Karen Petrovich goes, and she starts thanking her for inadvertently helping her in her match last week against Jada Parker, which she had no business winning because Jada's a much bigger star than Carmen. Kalani tells Carmen off. She starts insulting her because of that stupid fucking storyline with Shashanti, which I just want to end. This is going to win worst storyline of the year in my year-end awards, and it's only January. January's not even over yet. That's my worst storyline of the year. Fuck that storyline. Anyway, Kalani tells her off, and as Kalani leaves, Carmen calls her a bitch. So she doesn't hear it, but that sets up a match, and we all heard her call her a bitch. Ethan Page comes out next. We go backstage. Sarah Scriber interviews Eva about Julia's next opponent. Roxanne Perez interrupts and complains about Bayley getting a title shot. She throws Cora Jade on her bus, who was with her after she got pinned. Eva reveals it'll be a triple threat match at Vengeance Day for the NXT Women's Championship. It's Julia defending against Bayley and Roxanne. And Cora is not happy. She stormed off. Roxanne follows her. She feels bad because she threw her best friend under the bus. Ethan Page and Cedric Alexander. I mean, this is the piss break match. I didn't give a shit about this. Ethan Page gets the win. He continues to beat him up. Javon Edwards makes a save. I feel like I've seen this a million times. He had Fatal Influence cutting a promo backstage on Stephanie Vaquer. They're teasing tensions between Fallon and JC. Hopefully this faction's over because there's nothing to it. I think Fallon Henley should be on the main roster after WrestleMania, another one that's coming up. It really is so similar to me. I feel like Roxanne Perez is going to be Tiffany Stratton, where she's going to be the next big star in the women's division. I think she's going to have that same success, maybe even more. Where I feel like Fallon Henley's probably going to end up like Kiana James, where she's not even being used and she got hurt. So even before that, they weren't using her. I think that's where Fallon Henley's going to end up. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't like Fallon in this group. I like her as the country girl. We don't really get to see that too much. I like the country girl Fallon. Not a fan of Fatal Influence Fallon. And I think she's a natural face. They preview next Tuesday's NXT. They put a spotlight on Briggs and his tag team partner from Japan. Then the announcers do a big preview of Vengeance Day, and this is after they showed Bianca and Naomi, then Jakar and Jackson and Lash Legend heading to the ring for their match. Main event, Jakar Jackson and Lash Legend come out first, followed by the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions Bianca Belair and Naomi. Bianca Belair, unlike Bayley, paying tribute to her NXT days with a NXT-inspired outfit. Remember, she used to wear the tights? She has the tights on with the big kiss. The big lips to kiss, and that was kind of funny because, well, and it was kind of actually awkward because it's how only half one of the legs, the other leg was basically what she wears today, so she kind of mixed it up a bit. She did a throwback, unlike Bayley, who can't do a throwback. No throwback for Bayley. She has to do her stupid, dumb role model gimmick that no one likes. People like you because of NXT Bayley. Anyway, at least Bianca is showing some respect to her character, acknowledging her past. And Bianca really, she was a name in NXT, kind of, I don't know if I would say a star. She really made her name on the main roster. She doesn't need to be as loyal to NXT. Bayley can't show any reverence for the character she used to be in NXT. Anyway, so the big thing was you had a really cool power off between Bianca Belair and Lash Legend. Both of them are super jacked. I think this would have been even better with Jade Cargill and Lash Legend, who's not even being mentioned anyway, which is awkward. I thought Jade might make an appearance. We don't even hear her name anymore. Anyway, the match is all right. The parts with Bianca and Jade were the best. Bianca and Lash were the best. Jakara, I'm not sure. I mean, I'm not sure how much they're going to use her. I feel like she's definitely... it just seems like Lash is the star of the group. But, I mean, she's definitely playing the Naomi role. I will say this. I think there's a lesser gap between between Lash and Jakara than there is between Bianca and Naomi, because Bianca is just such a bigger star than Naomi. Naomi's just an afterthought. She's basically Natalia. That's the role she has. She's just there. She's been around forever. She's there. Anyway, they go backstage during the match, during the break, and they show Cora Jade yelling at Ava Raine. So I guess she's trying to get in to make it a fatal four, which I think will probably happen because they're already doing one triple threat. I think it makes sense to do a fatal four, because I don't know if you want to do two triple threats. I would predict Cora Jade probably gets in that match. So the match was good. He had some near falls, but the big spot was this horrible back botch near the end where the 3 count absolutely should have counted when Jakara Jackson had Naomi rolled up, and it's obvious. There's the 1-2. The ref doesn't count because Naomi just didn't kick out, and I don't think it's Naomi, so I think Jakara just had too much leverage on her, and it just comes with experience, and it was too hard for Naomi to kick out. The ref stopped. Fans turned on the match. Thankfully, it ended quickly because it was going to get ugly there, but it ended quickly. There was a huge botch. Bianca and Naomi win with their finisher, which is a double KOD. Fans are furious. They're actually booing the ending. And Vic Joseph refers to the referee as a Kansas City chief official, which was pretty funny. That's how it ended. Yeah. A lot of good on the show. I liked how it started with the tag match. As the middle part of the show, I thought it dragged. That usually happens with NXT. The main event I thought was alright. The other women's match, the Fallon Henley match, I thought I wasn't too into that. It was interesting because I thought this show would be a major. They're trying to make it like it's a big show, but the whole purpose of the show to me seemed like more to build up Vengeance Day, which I'm fine with. I just felt like there should have been more to focus, and I think NXT TV should be more of a focus. There's no more takeovers. These shows aren't the quality of takeovers. These PLEs. I just felt like this should have been more attention, especially because NXT is on the CW. But it was an entertaining show. I liked it better than usually what we get on from Orlando. But I felt some of it left a lot to be desired in some parts. However, I think all of it's done to build up the show, build up to Vengeance Day, continue the story, and for that, I think it did its job. So I didn't mind the show tonight. I think I was just expecting a little bit too much in some parts, but overall, I did enjoy it.